This is Kenny Clark, and this is Lombardi's Bar.
This is one of my favorite podcasts to do.
I'm just, blessed and thankful to be a part of this podcast. It's a great podcast, a great interview.
Maybe I know that you guys, obviously being the best Packers podcast that's out there.
I had Malort this weekend, so I'm not tasting anything.
Oh, good.
He did.
God.
He did. That was fantastic.
Because it said, "Did you ever try Malort?" And I said, "No." And then I said, "Do you want to take a shot of Malort?" I said, "No," but I did.
Wait, who said
It's called
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to get in a high honors English class once, and they called my parents and were like, "Hey, just tell him he can't do it."
It shows. It really shows.
I hate you guys so much.
I'm going to throw these two guys into the screen so that if I die, they can carry on the legacy of crap that is this show. Hello, Green Bay Packer fans. Welcome to another episode of Lombardi's Bar here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, everyone stopping here in the chat. Corey K, shout out. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Emma as well. Been a while since we've seen the Packers play. I hope that you are still surviving off of the leftovers of a beautiful Thanksgiving win over the Detroit Lions. Jay, Rizzied up, baby. I am Rizzied up out the wazoo. The wazoo is Rizzied. Yes, the chain comes out for the victories, and that's two, baby. When you put those together, 2 wins back to back, that's what we like to call a streak. The Packers are streaking, baby. 2 streakers who I want to bring in to talk about everything going on. It's Todd Varney. It's Jimmy Christensen. Boys, how we doing?
Todd definitely streaks a lot.
Drunk Todd definitely streaks.
Drunk Todd.
Yeah. I'm too old and slow to streak now. Now it's just like, why is there a naked guy outside? Like, I'm streaking. Sir, you have to run in order to be streaking. So yeah, no.
The whole neighborhood knows you had a good time, Todd.
Yeah. Dan, I do have a little bit of a nitpicky thing I want to touch on here. Technically, a win streak, I believe that's at least 3 games. I believe it's measured. And I brought it up on Wikipedia because this has been something you've said it a couple of times this season in reference of like, hey, maybe if we win 1 more, we could start a win streak. Commonly measured by at least 3 wins that are uninterrupted by losses or ties/draws. So Wikipedia has never been known to be false before. I have
fine.
My own research.
We
need 1 more.
I am misquoting Major League 2.
Yep, we won last week. We won this week. If we win next week, that's what you would call a winning streak.
Okay.
Yeah.
I misquoted
just a small housekeeping bit.
The cinematic masterpiece that was Major League 2.
Honestly, one of the only sequels better than the original.
Fuck you. Not even close. It's a good movie, but it's not better than the first one.
Wow. Out of all the things we said to Dan about January 6th, that's gotten the most reaction out of him.
This is where I draw the line.
Yeah, well, you're wrong. So
no, Kelsey's right. These are the fights that we have in our house. It's just semantics about definitions and wordplay. Like, that is literally all it is. It's honestly, I imagine, a living hell for my wife.
Fun.
You're living with you's got to be a living hell to begin.
Oh, it's a laugh riot, gang. It's a laugh riot. And then every Sunday, I get pissed off for 3 hours. It's a beaut, Clark.
What a saint. If you guys live closer, I tell her she'd come hang out with me more often. But then you guys would need more bedrooms for the little ones.
Yeah. How are we feeling after a 2-win in a row?
Todd must have been thrilled.
How are we feeling?
I didn't get a text that said this team hates me.
Ruining my fucking life.
I feel great personally. I think this is fantastic. I'm back on the playoff train. Even though I was last week, I'm fully on board now. I'm not contemplating jumping off. We're making the playoffs this year. And who would have thought that? Rodgers didn't make the playoffs his first year as a starter. Love looks like he's going to. So
I wouldn't say it looks like he's going to. I think we're trending toward that way. I don't know if it looks
we're
like
trending towards something. It looks like that's going to happen, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Aren't those kind of the same thing?
Again, semantics. I think you're both wrong. Let me ask you this. Do you guys truly believe, and I know I'm a huge proponent of just get into the postseason, give yourself a shot, and you can do it. Do you guys honestly believe this team that we've watched for 3 months now can win the Super Bowl?
No.
Do you guys believe they can win the Super Bowl?
Not at all.
Dan?
probably not. No.
Then lose these games and let's get a decent pick, because otherwise we're going to end up picking 20 like we have for years, and we're going to reach for some dipshit, and we're going to be bad on defense still. But we'll have another first-round player on defense who's not any good.
The thing is, though, at some like going into Love's first year, yes, it's an evaluation year. We had our expectations low, but if you can set him up as like getting confident of the team, of this guy can lead us to the playoffs, his first year as a starter, get some more talent around him,
Hang the banner, made the playoffs.
Let me finish.
7
there's,
seed.
There's some progression after that to get the confidence around the team that we have the next guy now. Like there is that building around.
The defense fall apart every game, so that Joe Barry gets fired. We lose the game.
But that wasn't the trend the whole season. The whole season was the defense did enough and the offense couldn't score points. Now the defense is still doing enough and the offense is finally scoring points. The defense imploding was never a thing except that one Lions game.
Atlanta?
Yeah, here's the thing.
That quarter. I guess you could even say the Steelers too. They those 3 games.
Oh, so I get that is something you might be able to call a trend. Half of their losses.
For every coach
team,
except Matt LaFleur, yeah, you'd call that a trend. You'll say those other 3 they'll look pretty good.
I mean, if you look around the league right now, parity is ripe through this league. Like, there are very, very few teams right now in the NFL that you can say are like more than 67% chance making the Super Bowl or making the NFC or making their conference championship game. Like, if you can get hot, you can make a run and you can make some noise. I'm not saying that this is a team like 2010 where things are all starting to come together, but we talked about like what we were discussing earlier, like when we were going through the rough patch earlier, was if we make the playoffs and can make the run, that to me says that things have changed, that something turned around. And so if this offense plays like this and this defense continues to play at that level and you get healthier, there's a chance things turn around and your trajectory of the season changes a little bit at that point. And Todd, I still say, I agree. If you are a team that is not going to have a chance to win a Super Bowl, personally rather get a higher draft pick than squeak into the playoffs. That is my full point.
Hang the wild card banner, guys. Let's go. What are we fucking? Are we the Bears? We just get excited for Detroit. Remember last year they beat us, but they didn't make the playoffs. But wow, what a win! Good job. We're back. Let's go. Detroit.
This is the complete opposite from last year of yelling at Dan, of having Bears mentality for not wanting to make it into the playoffs. And I understand the difference between Aaron Rodgers. You have a chance with him getting hot. Do you?
Because I don't think you do. Because what you're saying right now.
But at the end of the day, if you have a quarterback, like this is a year to build Jordan Love's confidence going forward. We've seen that with like Rodgers, his first year sucked, didn't make the playoffs, 6 wins. The year after that,
how did that work out?
He progressed each year. If we can skip that first part and have him get to the playoffs that first year, a year where people really thought he was going to suck and we had no chance, and he's proving right now, no, I can lead this team to the playoffs, fucking take it. It's a crapshoot anyways with the top 10 if you're going to hit on the guy or not. At this point, I'd rather have that confidence in the team. Jordan Love is going to the playoffs. Like for me personally, If we get a high draft pick, fine. I'm not going to be upset that we're winning and have a chance to make the playoffs.
Let me. I want to ask this question because it literally just came to my mind, and I'm not sure even how I feel about it because I am team high draft pick still. However, in a draft like this one right now, does it do the Packers any good to get a higher draft pick? Because you're not in a position to get Marvin Harrison Jr. and you're not taking one of the top quarterbacks. So if you get maybe say like the 8th or 9th overall pick, let's just say the season tanks out from here. Like, does it do them much good to spend that high of a draft pick on like another cornerback or a swing tackle? Like,
or trade down.
I was gonna say that's the one thing is if they had a top 5, it would be a trade down. I would think Goody would trade down, but
no,
I mean, I
I'm
guess
sure whoever they take at 22 is gonna just be awesome for us next season.
I don't know.
I mean,
I don't know how you can make me out to be the bad guy for being happy that my favorite team's winning fucking games.
That's like
I'm not gonna root against them.
They've got a lot of top end draft picks already, and you could make the argument that this team, when healthy, has a lot of good pieces that just need to start coming together a little bit more. And you go into next year, more of that cap opens up. You can play the free agent game a little bit more, and I don't know. Does it do anything? Do you think it does anything for the narrative around Jordan Love to make the playoffs this year in his first year? Do you think it does anything to the narrative for like free agents wanting to come? Like do you think it does anything of like Jordan? Like I've seen what Jordan Love can do. I want to be a part of what they've got going on in Green Bay. I want to be that person because of what I saw to Jordan Love.
I don't think it changes the Packers.
People didn't want to come here and play with Aaron Rodgers.
Well,
I don't know if you've been to Green Bay in December, Dan. They don't have a lid over that stadium, which again is kind of petition. Let's get that
we
done.
might be learning that the didn't want to play with Aaron Rodgers thing wasn't so much about Green Bay. It may have been a little bit of Aaron Rodgers the person.
Was it though?
I just think maybe people just, I don't know. How many people did he want to play with though? Like we actually don't know. He likes his guy.
That's true. He wanted fucking Jake Kumaro in here. So
yeah.
No wide receiver, no wide receiver worth the salt wants to come and compete for a spot with Jake Kumaro.
He didn't want Odell until he was already 2 ACL tears in. So
well, and he looks awful this year, doesn't he? Oh wait, no, never mind. I guess he could still play a little bit.
No, I don't think it will change anything free agency. The Packers aren't going to change their style. They'll try to sign a couple older veterans and hit on them like Devondre Campbell or Rasul Douglas, but they're not going to make any splash plays. Or splash signings. They're finally getting some kind of cap room back. They're not going to go too crazy.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to make us. I don't think they're going to go out and trade like first round picks for Jalen Ramsey. Like they're not going to pull like a Rams deal, but like you can start kind of getting a little bit more creative and fill some of those gaps after this year. So I don't know. I know Pickett was making a joke about the free agent thing that we're in every discussion, but really when you think about it, like the Packers right now are a bit of a Schrodinger's cat situation. We're in every discussion. We're in top 10 pick discussions. We're in playoff discussions. We don't really know. Like we are both and we are neither at the same time. This is what my wife puts up with.
Well, yeah, well done. Oh, I'm aware of what she puts up with. That woman's a saint.
I thought that was a good analogy. Packers are Schrodinger's cat. They're dead.
I don't know what that is.
It's not going to help if you explain it a second time, Dan.
I heard cat and I immediately just thought I hate cats, and I ignored the rest of what you said.
So the theory is if you
I don't need to hear it. I don't need to hear it.
It didn't work.
I'm good. It's the wrong audience.
Yeah.
So top 10 pick, huh?
Explain it for a
Theoretically, the cat is dead and alive at the
Dear
same time,
God.
and so it exists in both planes.
Like a sphinx.
Not really, no.
This is
I
on.
don't know. It's the only cat.
This
I
is on
really
you,
know.
Dan.
Hey, Jimmy, who would you like to buy around for?
Thank you so much. I'm going with Jonathan Owens, Mr. Biles, as everyone on Twitter calls him. He had a terrible fucking tackle attempt against the Chargers, and he came back against the Lions. He played well. He had that fumble recovery for a touchdown. He smacked the shit out of Gibbs running up the field. He actually played really well. So after I shit on him so much last week, not really to you guys, but to, no offense, Todd, my dad on the phone. I feel like I need to give him some kudos, buy him around for playing really well this past week.
What is the note on our rundown mean? I don't understand this. Is this you? Is this Todd?
No, that's Todd. Yeah,
Okay.
that's Todd. I did not put.
I will
dick
not
turds.
say what is on the rundown. I just
will.
looked over
it
and I was
says
like,
dick turds on our agenda.
I'm like, how does this relate to?
As you were doing the
Owens?
intro, Jimmy had just gotten online and was going through typing that stuff in, and I was deleting it.
I
as
did
he
see
was
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he, bitch ass underpaid. Anyways,
Todd, who'd you like to buy around for?
I'm going to go with potentially the Packers' next offensive coordinator, potentially. It's a big jump, so maybe we'll just go like an O-line coach, Sharon Moore. Dude is crushing it in Michigan. These last few games, playing head coach on the weekends, absolutely just showing up and embarrassing a team like Ohio State, who I think a lot of people thought were going to be a playoff team this year. And just
I thought so.
letting them know that, like, you can run all these little backdoor spy allegation things you want to do, whatever it is. We don't need our actual head coach here. We're just going to step in and do this. That's what I want out of an offensive coach. And it would be awesome to have somebody like him on the staff. So buy around for that guy. God damn it. I almost made it through the whole thing without a smile. Dan, thoughts on the Ohio State-Michigan game?
Yeah, I knew we were going to lose that game because Colin McCord is a piece of garbage. So I'm sure he's a great person. He's a garbage quarterback. So I had no expectations for that whatsoever. You can ask Kelsey. Kelsey literally asked if I was going to ruin Thanksgiving this year again, because usually I get so wound up about that game. I ruin at least a portion of Thanksgiving, and I did not. I was a very good person this year.
Wait, you ruined Thanksgiving, which is 2 days before the game?
No, so my family always has their family Thanksgiving on Saturday, and the lead into that is Ohio State, Michigan.
That makes more sense. I was going to say, you are pretty fucked up if you're getting mad about a game that's happening 2 days later. Jesus. Okay.
No, you can't kill what's already dead. I knew we were going to lose that game. Kyle McCord is a bum quarterback. I'm sure he's a great person, but fuck him, and maybe fuck Ryan Day a little bit.
Suck as a person.
Do you think, what do you think Ohio needs to do to try and get back into being the same class of a program that Michigan's in?
Cheat more, I guess.
So bring back Urban Meyer?
Yes.
Well, Ryan Day should have that playbook, though, right?
You would imagine so.
Yeah.
I don't think Ryan Day's
has he tried fingering people at a restaurant?
Who has?
Not that I know of, but he has to have his own.
He lives in Columbus. Trust me, it's happening.
He's finger popping each other's assholes all the time.
Finger popping each other's ass.
Dan, who are you buying around?
Yeah,
thank you. I'm going to buy around for Christian Watson. We've given him, I think, a fair amount of criticism, well-earned criticism this season, a little bit of last season. We've gone after, but we've criticized how the Watson family has handled the feedback and fan response to Christian Watson's play. But to see the obvious game plan from Matt LaFleur to Thursday, What?
No, I saw Todd
What?
smirking. I didn't trust it. So I looked at him. I was like, what the fuck are you smirking for? I was listening to you.
And I don't know why I was smirking, but then I saw Jimmy and it cracked me up.
But to see this team and the offense have you guys fucking threw me off my whole thing. To have,
Trust me, looking at Todd and seeing him smirk, I couldn't focus on anything else. It's never a good sign.
I don't know what's happening over here. I have no control over my emotions.
The game plan, as they said, it was to take the big shot for Christian Watson on the very first play. LaFleur wanted to move away from it. Jordan said no. He had the confidence in him, and Christian went up and did the thing he has not done all year, which is go back up and fight for the ball. And he did it, and it set the tone. And he had an amazing game Thursday, outside of just that one catch. Had the touchdown, had another one that was on the sidelines where he made a great play to get down. He had a fantastic game on Thursday, and it was just he was one part of the offense that was just firing on all cylinders. But he deserves to get the shout out here, because this wasn't the Cowboys game where he's getting schemed open and having 3 touchdowns and it's blowing everybody's mind.
Are you still talking about Christian Watson?
This was a game where he showed he could be a number 1 wide receiver. So
cool. Good game, guy. Nice job. That's
See, even with this game though, I felt like he's still more complimentary to Jaden Reed. Like right now, it's Jaden Reed as wide receiver 1, and I think Dobbs and Watson play a role.
I totally agree. I just this game was just, we saw him act more as a well-rounded wide receiver. The plays that he made weren't just the typical Christian Watson take the top off the defense kind of play.
Yep. No, I agree. Seeing him go up and get, especially the first play, is just like setting the tone, something he's been shit on so much. It was good to see. And at first with Love, I was pissed because like, how the fuck are you keep underthrowing him? But then you realize that ball did travel like 60 yards in the 50 in the air. So it's like, okay, that makes sense. You bombed the shit out of that one. But yeah, no, I think that connection is going to get stronger. He even had him too. If the offensive line, Josh Meyer, your boy Dan, could have blocked for just a millisecond longer, and he set his feet, could have been like a dagger of a touchdown.
Would have been the first millisecond he's blocked for all season.
That was a good one. But
the only kind of jokes I make, Jimmy.
That's fair. They're usually pretty good. He definitely stepped up this game, which is good to see.
Pretty good? Come on. You're just jealous. You know it. That's hurtful.
Let's go to the other side here. Let's pay the tab. Todd, who do you want to have pay the tab this week?
I'm going to go with Fox. The obvious thing here. How do you not have a turkey ready for the team? How is that a thing?
I think Michael is right. I really do think Greg Olsen fucking destroyed the turkey.
He finger banged that turkey.
He just Urban Meyered the shit out of that one.
Cool. So you know what you do? You cut it up and you bring it down and you just go, hey guys, here it is. It's already cut for you. It's already laid out. Before we go live, just want you to know Greg Olsen had his hands in this, so probably don't eat it. But it's here for show.
Well, and here's my thing with that theory, because I do think that is the leading theory, but we saw Greg Olsen ripping into the body, the carcass of it. He just needs a turkey leg.
Right.
He needs the leg. You have to be able to give him the leg somehow.
Because every other game had turkey, right? It was just the Packer game.
Hell, the Cowboys hid turkey legs all over the stadium.
That's why. They sent extra to the Cowboys game. They're like, fuck, we have so much. Let's just hide it. Give it to the Salvation Army.
Shout out to Aaron Andrews for on the fly trying to cover up for the Greg Olsen finger bang turkey, though.
Bitch didn't even cover up for it. She just said, hey, we don't have one for you. She just told him. She didn't cover up.
That's
respectfully.
Likely.
Yeah. Jimmy, who needs to pay the tab?
I'm going to go with, and this is no fault of his own. It's his one singular body part. Eric Stokes' hamstring. For the love of God, just stay intact. It's enough of it. All training camp, we didn't see him. He was coming back for just a couple punts. He's designated to return from injury. They showed video of him practicing today. Just let him come back. let him get an ounce of joy out of this football season, please. And we could use him on the defense with Jair Alexander doing whatever he's doing with his back, his shoulder. Hopefully he's back next week would be great, but
or get him healthy for the playoffs.
Or get him healthy for the playoffs. Eric Stokes hamstring. Please be healthy for the playoffs. But I feel bad for him, but it's just his foot, his knee, his hamstring.
I feel bad about it because it's not like this was a, Justin Harrell situation where he was coming off a big injury or was like coming in injured. Like he's just had several things just crop up his whole season, has not been able to stay healthy. And he could be one of like the really big what ifs of the Brian Gutekunst era.
He was so good as a rookie.
Mm-hmm. I was hyped for him. I was really hyped. I hope he can. Yeah, I'd like to see him back, man. It'd just be. Oh, goddamn! I just read Labo's.
So did I. So did
I. Yeah, I will. I will have the pleasure here to end the pay the tab with. And I would like the whole city of Detroit to pay the tab here, because as I said last week, I've had to sit here in Lions country and listen to Lions fans talk to me about how this game was going to be the coronation game. It was all this conversation was, how does it feel to not have a Thanksgiving Day game where you don't feel like you're going to get your teeth kicked in, and know that like this is the game that's going to set you off for the rest of the season, right off into the sunset to a number 1 overall seed in the NFC. And if you'll permit me, I'd like to play a clip from the Packers post-game show right here on the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel that perfectly sums up my message to the great city of Detroit. Welcome to the Game On Wisconsin YouTube channel, the Packers post-game. Umar, what is your favorite Thanksgiving side dish?
Side dish?
Yeah, you know what mine is? Apples. As in,
how
do you like them apples, Detroit?
Bam!
Boom, baby!
Wow.
Right there, you beautiful motherfuckers. Welcome to the world of expectations. It's not so fun now when you actually have to back up all your shit, is it? Fuck you, Detroit. God, that game. This game will sustain me like a snake living off of a carcass for months.
Are you gonna send this to this city, or are you just yelling at Jimmy?
I have already sent the clip to Mayor Mike Duggan. It is in his office.
Why don't you just take it there when you decide to go down and break in, like you do to all the other government buildings that you've come across?
Dad's gonna break into the Capitol again on the 6th just to play that clip on the whiteboard. I'm sure they have one whiteboard.
Yeah, what are you guys doing for the 3-year anniversary? Have you guys talked about it at your little club meetings, or
you doing the White House this year?
I'm gonna blow by all of it, guys.
You're doing great. You're doing great.
You guys gonna watch Major League too?
After watching Major League,
guys, I don't know how to say this. Looking at this week's game, we can't take the Broncos lightly.
Don't do it.
You cannot do it. You can't take them lightly, gang.
They're gonna get you.
You know
Sean
who you
Payton,
can,
Coach of the Year.
You know who you can take lightly? The Chiefs, because I don't think you have a chance either way. So maybe just again, roll into it. Let some guys take the week off, get healthy.
The Raiders look good the first half against them, and the Chiefs until this point went 3 games without scoring a second half point. That is where we shine, is the second half. I'm already talking myself into this game. Like I said last week, I was more worried about the Lions than I am against the Chiefs. Mahomes, the best player out of any of those teams. but take him away. The offenses don't like the Lions have way more offensive weapons than the Chiefs.
Oh, it's just that he's just take Patty Mahomes away. Why?
I'm
Why
not.
haven't
not
teams
taking
been doing
away.
that for years?
I'm saying compare the rest of the team outside the quarterback. You asshole. You know.
Outside of the generationally great quarterback.
Yeah, but still, the skill. It didn't fucking help them before. They literally went 3 halves, the 3 games in the second half, and did not score a point. It doesn't matter if you're a generational quarterback when your wide receiver's fucking MVS that you have to rely on. The Lions had a better offense.
Kadarius Toney was out. Okay.
You're right. I'm sorry. You corrected me. I lost that argument. But
look, we saw it in Green Bay for years. Having a great quarterback makes up for a lot of your deficiencies elsewhere. And again, you're not taking Patrick Mahomes away. There's nobody on this defense that can stop Patrick Mahomes from being Patrick Mahomes. Your only hope is that he just keeps throwing the ball to MVS and he does what he does best, which is watch the ball hit the ground after it bounces off his hands.
Well, see, and that's the thing is like you don't need to completely stop Patrick Mahomes. You just need to contain what's happening, and the weapons he has around him now aren't as explosive as they have been in the past. And so you have a chance here. Like
Becker's going to run for like 175.
The Chiefs have a terrible run defense as well. James Robinson over 100.
So AJ Dillon's going to run for 47 yards.
He's going to break 3 total tackles. No,
I'm just saying, like it's this game. Like if you're talking about moving toward a playoff run or to get there, if that's your idea of a successful season, you needed to win one of these 2 games, Lions and Chiefs. You've already won the Lions. And so it feels like you're playing more with like house money, and you get to go back home after an extended break against a Chiefs team that has shown they're not the dominant force they have been the last couple of years. They look very beatable. That's the thing is like almost every team in the NFL has looked incredibly beatable multiple times this year. There's not been like a dominant force, really. Am I wrong? I just feel like
I think the Eagles have looked pretty dominant.
Have they looked dominant, or are they just winning? Like the record doesn't show that you're being dominant; it just shows that you're winning. The Vikings were winning games last year, but they were winning 1-2 point games. They weren't dominating.
They're winning pretty handily.
I don't know. They had to They had to have like a
barely beat the Chiefs
field goal to go to overtime against the Bills.
Yeah, I didn't say every game. Most of them.
I don't know if I would say
and they're in control of a lot of them.
They barely beat the Commanders.
All I have to do, Jimmy, you've already proved it. All I have to do is bring up 3 games that they've won easily, and I can say that that's fine.
Well, no, the
defense isn't the problem. It's not.
They haven't been dominant this year, though. The Eagles have looked very vulnerable. They keep pulling wins out of their ass.
So how do you beat them?
I still think they're a better team than the Packers.
Away, and they're just another team.
I mean, here's the thing. The Eagles have beaten the Patriots, Vikings, Bucks, Commanders, Rams, Dolphins, Commanders, Cowboys, Chiefs, Bills. Like, there's really not really like a lot of those aren't very good teams.
Neither are the Packers.
But that's what I'm saying. Is the playing field?
Maybe Tom Brady was right
this year.
Maybe Tom Brady was right. There's just a lot of bad football right now, guys.
I don't think it's bad football. I just think it's just parity.
It's a lot of bad football, which is weird. I heard that sentiment from a lot of people and agreed with it. But then as soon as Tom Brady said it, everybody was like, "You're wrong. Football's great. You're just."
I don't think I've heard anyone else. I don't think I've heard anyone else say it.
Well, you need to spend more time on the internet, Dan, because it's out there.
Okay. All I'm saying is
I'm sorry, but there is no having a different opinion than Todd because all it is just smug asshole comments that either
Are
directed
you calling
towards
me a smug asshole?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
I think they're great when they go towards Dan, but towards me, I just want to throw punch you.
Everyone's beatable this year, and so if you can get hot and stay hot and look good, like you can do something. And
This is the same
all I'm
attitude you and your buddies took into the last election, Dan.
Question. Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Jimmy.
If I know you don't want the Packers to make the playoffs, but let's say they make
No,
the
I want
playoffs.
that banner. We need to hang that banner.
Fuck off. But if they make the playoffs and have to face the 49ers and somehow beat them, you have to admit that would be the greatest thing in the world to have Jordan Love take the Packers to the playoffs and beat the 49ers in his first year when Rodgers could not do that at all. If that happened, would you be happy with the worst draft pick just for that storyline?
Yeah, I mean, if they make it in the playoffs, I want them to go as far as they can. But I don't know that that's a thing that's actually going to happen.
Just befuddled right now.
Like making it into the
earlier in the playoffs, they get a higher draft pick.
Yeah, but at that point, like, what's the difference between, like, I understand it's 6 spots between 20 and like 26, but realistically, when it comes down to it, like, we're in. Let's make a run. It's not a good 20 is not a good pick. Neither is 26. If you get in, make a run at it.
I mean, the Packers,
but they're going to lose in the wild card round, and then just all this for just getting a bad draft pick. And
the Packers have 6 games. The Packers have 6 games left. They can, if they can win 5 of those 6 games, they're basically guaranteed a playoff spot.
The 5 teams that aren't the Chiefs have a total of 19 wins.
Right.
That's Jimmy. That's an average of less than 4. Just a heads up. That's not good.
The teams they're playing are not good.
No.
Thank you. I know math.
Do you though?
Yes. I don't know words, but I know math. Grow up.
Yeah, and imagine if they beat the Chiefs on Sunday night. I mean, I don't know how if they can win against the Chiefs at home, and especially let's assume they're trotting out the same roster that they did for Thursday. No Aaron Jones, no Musgrave. You've got A.J. Dillon and Emmanuel Wilson back there as running backs.
Wilson's out.
Is he officially out?
I'm pretty sure Wilson and Musgrave are on the IR.
Did he? Oh, okay.
Patrick Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, so it's Patrick Taylor.
Yes, sir.
So that's right. It was Patrick Taylor. Jesus Christ. I mean, if you can run out and beat the Chiefs with that on Sunday night, it's really hard to not start just automatically thinking that this team is a playoff team and can do something, because that I just don't know how else you can what else you can think about them. Thanks for the input. Thank you.
No, I already think they're a playoff team. I think beating the Lions in Detroit is more of a statement than beating the Chiefs at Lambeau. You went into enemy territory, a team that's kicked your ass the last 4 games, and you beat them. I think that showed they are a playoff team. In this shitty ass NFC, they're a playoff team because the rest of the teams suck. You have the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the 49ers. I guess you could throw the Lions in there, but they've looked terrible the last couple games. I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone can be beaten. It's a 1-week league. I don't know. I keep saying the same thing over and over again.
But it didn't make sense the first time you said it. But
it did make sense. It does make sense.
This Chiefs team, though, like the offense isn't what scares me, which is weird, even with Patrick Mahomes.
Right.
That fucking defense is good. And last time Jordan Love, granted, yes, his first NFL start, they blitzed the absolute shit out of them. And the Vikings, they also had success against the Packers. Obviously, they kicked our ass. Like this team, we're going to see how. I'm not so worried about Jordan Love under pressure. It's just this offensive line is fucking terrible. Like I think Jordan Love can handle it, but I just don't know if they can even give him that much time to get the ball off, because this offensive line is worse than the one we had a couple years ago when we were facing the Chiefs. So
Yeah, but I think, that this is why I feel like Sunday is such an important kind of game in just the overall Jordan Love arc, because it just makes sense. Like the first game he ever played against the Kansas City Chiefs, you didn't really see what he was able to do because he's getting his ass blitzed every single play and clearly wasn't comfortable running that offense. We've seen now he can run this offense. And to their credit, this offensive line, as bad as they've played, have held up pretty damn well against some good pressure. Aiden Hutchinson was a zero factor. He's a non-factor on Thursday. So I think this will be a good test to see how do the Chiefs treat Jordan Love and how does Jordan Love respond. And maybe this is just like the fan think, but it feels like exercising those demons. I don't know if that's a thing Jordan Love thinks about or anybody else thinks about, but like if he can beat this Chiefs defense after what we saw the first time against them, that to me speaks volumes for his progression.
The real question is, what phase is the moon in Sunday night, and how well do the Chiefs play with a certain type of moon? Because that's also a reason why we won that Thanksgiving game.
That is true. No, the real question will be, of course, the question.
Is Kim Jong-un in the audience?
Mm-hmm.
And we'll find out on Sunday.
I guess we'll find out if he's up in the owner's box.
Mercury is heading into retrograde, so that could be an issue too for the Chiefs.
Yeah. For sure.
All right. Do you guys want to get to
sorry, does that really happen? Is that knowledge you just knew off the top of your head?
Oh, yes.
You Googled, please tell me you Googled it. I'm gonna lose so much respect for you if you knew where Mercury was.
We need to hear right now. Do some research. Where's Mercury right now? Is it in retrograde?
It will be shortly.
Bar bets. Let's get the two non-football or Packer related, I guess, maybe ones out of the way here. The news today, or the news this week, that Aaron Rodgers is activated off of, or he's in the window to be.
He's not on the Packers.
Yeah, I'm abstaining from this bet.
Does he play another snap?
I don't give a shit.
This year? Or
does
ever?
Does he play another regular season snap for the Jets this season?
I hope he doesn't tear his other Achilles. I don't give a fuck. No, he's not going to. He's not going to. But someone did tweet his Achilles has a chance to do his other Achilles has a chance to do the funniest thing. I was dying.
I will cease to exist if that happens.
I don't want more children, but I will purposely have a fourth child with the help of Todd and name it Aaron's Achilles Christensen if he pops his other Achilles.
Going back to work, buddy.
Rise up, young fella.
We're getting called into the show.
Do you think we see Taylor Swift at Lambeau this week?
Yes. Because I think Simone Biles will be there, and those two will hang out together.
Too. It's
so
an
I'll
influencer
go, yes.
meeting. Yes.
5 backyards. And it's Lambeau. Travis is gonna be like, "Hey, this is an iconic stadium. You got to come."
Right. I was listening to last week's episode of the Kelsey Brothers podcast, and they were talking about stadiums that they hated the facilities in and the ones that they really liked the facilities, and they both agreed that Lambeau has average to below average facilities. But they both said they really don't mind because you're playing at Lambeau. And so they'll take below average amenities if it means playing at Lambeau. And I think Taylor Swift will feel the same way. Yeah, she's going to show up. I mean, I think the Brazil leg of the tour is done, so she's got time. We'll see her. Can you imagine if? So I know Simone Biles goes on the field afterwards. Can you imagine if Taylor Swift is on Lambeau Field, like the field level? They'll burn that stadium to the ground to get to her.
I can imagine it.
Who will? There's 6 Swifties in attendance.
I don't think it's just Swifties. I think she is like a Pope figure at this point. Everyone just wants to,
You
be
think
I'm a
there.
Jordan Love.
You think maybe she's the most famous person in the world, Dan?
Next to Putin, maybe.
It's pretty fucking disrespectful to Kim. We're on first name basis. I don't say the other 3.
Okay, but for real, some real Lombardi bar bets for the game this week. Who has more passing yards this week, Patrick Mahomes or Jordan Love? Because right now they're pretty close when you look at, like, if you're going like head to head week by week. Jordan Love has outpassed Patrick Mahomes several times this year.
I'm gonna go 5 Bakhtiari's Love because as Jimmy just told us, Mahomes doesn't have any weapons. There's no one else on that team except him. And the Packers, all they have to do is take him away. And this should be an easy dub. So I'm going to go with Love.
Again, not what I said. I said not as good as the Lions. And if you don't compare quarterbacks, the Lions are better. But I am going to follow Todd. But I'll do 5 Bakhtiaris.
That a boy.
At this point, if
5
I'm
Bakhtiaris.
agreeing with you, I might as well just pick 5. So I don't.
5 Bakhtiari's Jordan Love. I think it's a combination of Jordan Love is the Packers offense is more built around passing the ball right now without the running game the way that it is. And I think the Chiefs are also going to have a little joy running the ball this week against the Packers defense. So I think they'll be keeping it on the ground a little bit more. More receiving yards, Christian Watson or MVS?
Watson, 5 Bakhtiaris.
Todd?
I
just feel like these two are both like wild cards. They're up and down. You never know who's gonna take off one week.
Yeah. This would be the one game MVS has more than 2 catches.
The MVS revenge game.
I'm going to go with Christian Watson. And Matt, get that out of there. I didn't say I'm going 5 Bakhtiari. 5 Bakhtiaris, Watson.
I knew you were going to do
that. I'm fine being wrong if it's Marcus that is the douchebag that makes it happen. Like, whatever.
Sorry, what's his full name?
I don't even care. Marcus Van Trell something Scantron.
I thought
Valium and Scrotum are going to come out of your mouth for a second. Marcus Valium, Scrotum.
Yeah.
I can't pull for him. I don't care. Call me a petty bitch.
That might be one jersey I burn, honestly.
Did you actually burn it?
No, I said it's one that I would actually
you would consider.
If someone enough peer pressure. So Todd saying it to me like 3 times.
I bet you won't, coward.
It's done. It's happening tonight.
You dare me? Double dog?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm battling a hamstring cramp. I haven't for like the last half of the show. I put it in the private chat. As long as I don't move my leg, I'm okay. And I just did that. And
I didn't even look.
Yeah, it's
I mean, I've seen Todd like several times.
I'm like putting it all on the line. I'm playing hurt tonight, guys.
Jesus Christ. 17 minutes of a hamstring cramp.
Yeah. It's been awful.
5 Bakhtiari's Christian Watson.
Yeah. Let's drag this out some more, guys.
Yeah. Please add more bar bets.
Let's just do a quick Q&A in the chat. What's on everyone's mind tonight?
Kind of bored.
So,
Ask me anything.
back to Schrodinger's cat. So you put the cat in the box.
Thank you, Matt.
Do you have more bar bets?
I don't have any more bar.
Let's Pacheco over under 175 yards from scrimmage.
Under.
I'd take the over if that would have been a bar bet.
Type it, Dan. Type it, Dan.
I don't know how to spell the last name.
That's never stopped you from putting something on here before.
E-C-O. That's like the easiest last name to spell. Pacheco. Easy.
See, I always add, like, I don't know if it's Pacheco, tomato. There's no chance he's wearing pants.
Todd is wearing pants. He's wearing black sweatpants. Perverts.
You wearing underwear though? You
Yep.
free balling?
Nope.
I hate the thing that Todd's camera does because it, like, when he moves, it zooms in and out.
Yeah.
And as he said that, the
Does it
camera
really?
zoomed out. And
Yeah, it'll take me out
looked
of focus and shit.
It looked like Todd was gonna say, like, I am wearing pants, and it was like gonna zoom out, and we were gonna get a full body shot of Todd. It's really gonna bother me.
Just Winnie the Poohing it over here.
All right. Any other final thoughts, guys, before we wrap up?
Jimmy hasn't had a thought. Jimmy hasn't had an initial thought.
Sorry. Now all I'm thinking about is Todd just
Well, quit thinking about it, you pervert.
purple shirt, fucking bare ass sitting.
This
on your
is
computer.
blue.
Why is it a purple shirt?
Yeah, this is a blue
I don't
shirt,
know.
you moron.
Look,
It's
purple.
very blue.
Jimmy, you need to go to the doctor.
I haven't got an eye exam for a minute.
What color-
Make sure that
what
you
color
are
do think
following
your
the
shirt
show
Do you
on
guys
all of our
think
social
I'm like
media.
Winston? Everything's brown and green.
At Game On WI on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get notified every time that we go live on the channel. All of our other shows throughout the week, the Packers post-game show, all of that good stuff. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel so you get notification anytime any of that goes live. For producer Matt behind the scenes, for Jimmy, for Todd, I'm your bartender Dan Connick saying cheers, everybody. And as always, go Pack Go.